Hey, Dana here, and welcome back. Day 5 or 6. Wanted to get this in, but the main seal off the crankshaft is leaking. So I'm in the process of removing it. I had a couple different tools to get this to start coming out. You want to make sure you don't damage anything here, metal wise. Okay, you damage the seal all you want, but you can't damage your crank and you can't damage the inside of your block. You're not going to get a seal and you're going to be screwed. Okay, so this would be just for, you would have accomplished nothing. So I started out with using this little pick here and then go right dead center in the middle of that seal, okay, and start getting it to get in there as deep as you can and get it to start to move. Okay, when you do that, you'll start to be able to have a little bit of a movement there. Okay, and then you can get in there with a screwdriver and go down and pound on it. Okay, and you just saw I just yanked it out. So here's your old seal. I've got another seal I gotta get here in a minute. And you're gonna put it in so this side is facing in. I think this has got a spring in it. It keeps tension on it. And then you got your little lines facing outside. Now we have to find something that's wide enough that's gonna go right around here so you can line it right up and then punch it in. Now make sure you remember how flush that was when it went in. You don't want to go over on it. Okay, so next step is to put the new one in. Now that I've got the seal out of there, I'm going to move on forward here, and I'm going to pull out that pilot bearing that's inside there. And I found a small carriage bolt, and that head is just big enough to go inside that bearing. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hydraulically pop that bearing out of there. I filled that with grease, so get that out. Unless you got a special tool, take this and pump that in there, and hopefully that's going to push that freaking bearing out. No, I don't think it is. I'll push up against it. Nope. Nope, that's not work. Not gonna work. Shoot. I'm gonna hydraulically push that out, but that head is the same size as those inner bearings. Just kill that idea. We need to find a dowel. Something that's got a smaller head. Actually, it's going to have a smaller head. Okay, let's try that. No, it's still too big. Can I have a smaller head? No, I use that as my, remember where that is when I need it. Which, Get so it's not pushing on those bearings. Ooh, here we go. See? Bloop. No, you lost your, what I need is to put some more grease in there. Oh my God, grease gun go. Gotta fill that cavity in there. What that's gonna do is push that out. And you'll push it in. Because it has to go someplace. Try that. A little more. I might have made my head too small now. Not working right. Dadgummit. Sometimes it works, sometimes it don't. Case of not. Ha! Crap. Alright.
At this point, I actually knew it was not going to work,
Another time.
but the book recommended it, so I decided to keep trying. And in the end, it still didn't work.
It was supposed to work. Nuts. Unfortunately, it's a messy procedure. Oh, dang it. Alright, one more time. I'm going to have to go another route. Ah. Alright, one more time. Yeah, we're going to go another route. I got these heads. These carriage bolts are probably going to be good because I'm going to be able to put them. We're going to slide this in and then get some sort of a wedge on the outside here that it's going to have to pull it out. So I don't have anything that small to go in there and grab it. I've got what you need is a small slide, very small slide hammer that can go, and the little piece will go inside there and grab it and bang it out. I've got a slide hammer, but of course it's a 10-pounder. I might be able to use the carriage bolt itself so I can go in, somehow attach this to the hammer and then yank it out. But let's get the new seal in here. Just use plenty of grease. Use the grease off of here. going around the outside of that seal and get started. Alright, let me save some video for a minute. Stay tuned. Alright, we're back. So get in here. I need to look real quick because I might have crap in here. Which, yes, I do. What you doing? Alright. Alright, it's all clean. Clean in there. I mean, I did real good. I didn't scratch anything. Alright. Look at that. Okay. Oh, I want you to put a moly-based grease on the inside of the seal here. Make sure that you got your ring going facing in, okay? Got a spring base there. Oil around the outside of that too. I was using the figure out how to using these on something else to come find out, reckon I got mice. This was level. I probably have oil coming out of here. Yeah, so this is the delicate side. The nice thing about it is you got that shaft right there. You got the shaft right here that's gonna keep this seal lined up when it goes in. And again, make sure you get your ring going that right direction.
At this point, I found if you twist it, it will go on there easier.
Again, that seal is spring loaded. Come on. Alright, so I got it on there. Unfortunately, when she went in, she decided to spring load herself a little more square to the other side. I'm going to go back in, go in your screwdriver a little bit here. Because you need that, you need her lined up all the way around as easy as possible. That's not too bad. No pressure on it, so other than what we have right here. Let's see, I have a little more over here than I do over there to take that out. Alright, no, you don't want to puncture that in any way. Now what I thought I was going to get away with was this here. I have a bearing tamer. That's what I need. got a bearing tamer kit, and I think this is going to be just right. Okay, like I said, I got a bearing tamer kit, and you got, you know, different sizes. This is perfect for that seal. This is going to go. This is going to go inside that like level. I'm going to take this and then put that in there like so. And now I have my perfect setup. Do that like so. Actually sitting just like that. And pretty good. Be as flush as possible. Now look. Up here, I'm not so good down here. Get the bottom section here. Level now. Keep it all together. Right. Okay. Looking pretty good. I need a bigger hammer. I need to see what heck I'm doing here. Alright, go any further there. I gotta go flush on the bottom down here. Okay. Alright. I like it. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, that's it. I'm doing more. And that's it. I can feel everything pretty flush. Alright. Nothing's down here. Okay, I'm feeling that all the way around. Alright, I'm good. I'm not messing with it anymore. So that's how I did that. Again, it was with a bearing tamer kit. Alrighty. We're ready to move forward. Let's get our still got to get that bearing out of there before I go to try anything. I'm going to put anything else together there. So how dirty that was. That means the face inside here. Alright, so alright, let's get our
Drive plate.
And unfortunately, I have no idea where the holes are for this thing because it's coming off of another motor. Alright, but we're going to find that in this case, I don't know That's just the way it is. Because you're only gonna, like I'm gonna be able to. Those don't line up. Those don't line up. Those don't line up. Those don't. Wait! Out of my way. Head in my. Out of my way for a minute. Sick it. Let's try it again. Join it. It don't line up. I thought I had it over here, right? And that is it. That's line up. Using these square hexes. And I mentioned something about I was putting Loctite on these, right? I'm stuck in there. Yeah, I'm getting Loctite. Don't think I'll be back in here again. I think I checked, I think these were like 85 foot-pounds. We got a torque wrench. Torque those puppies down. We're back. Let's go ahead and torque this. 75 to 85 foot-pounds. So I'm going to do that. I don't think there's enough here. I'm going to turn the crank here. I guess it is. Alright, I'm going to have to lock the crank with something. Just getting started. I don't even know we're in yet. What are you doing? Now this is the dry, it's considered a dry plate. Because your torque converter plugs into this. Alright? 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? And the other one is a flywheel, because that's part of your standard shift. It's got the flywheel, it's got the plate that your clutch plates push against, and that's how it gets the friction and does what it needs to do. This doesn't have that. Let's see. And then keep me moving. Let's just do it. Yeah, okay. 75 foot-pounds is really not that much. Started yet. I'm just going. Started here. Alright. Getting the pre-tension on. These are the bolts that kind of the bolts used to have on the jet engines. The only thing is, they had holes, so, and you had the safety wire. Okay. Getting close. Yep, there we go. One. I went one. That's two. Three. Ow! Alright. Alright. That's it, huh? And my last one. Alright. I set those at 80 foot-pounds. And that takes care of that. We are ready, now, other than popping out that bearing, the next problem here. We are almost ready to install it. I've got to do a vehicle swap out. Hey, quick reminder, if you have the Cobalt torque wrenches, make sure you check those frickin' bolts every so often. They may be loose. All right, that's like a 20 Torx tip. If you don't, you're gonna lose the screw. As you can see, I just did. And then, if the other one gets loose, you'll be in the middle of the torque and that head will fall off of that. Ah, thank God I was able to find that. I don't know where the heck the other one went, but anyway, double check your tools. All right, stay tuned. I'm gonna see if we got to get that little pilot bearing out of there. That pilot bearing in there. Got to get that out. As you see, I was trying to do that earlier. Unfortunately, my battery went dead, so I had to drop you out for a while. Trying to get that pilot bearing out. I tried several tricks, but it didn't work. So this is my last alternative. This comes out of the kit, and it's got this little grabbing edge on it. So I'm gonna try that. Thought it would just come right out of there. I designed a little set of things there to do that, and I'm pulling the bearing. I'm pulling the inner parts of the bearing on it. Yep. Yep. Freaking race doesn't want to come with it. Thing. Yeah, no, that's the inner part of the bearing I just yanked out. That's not what I want. Now we're gonna go after the other part of it. That was supposed to. The trick is you just put grease in there and freaking push it out. But guess what? That didn't work. I've done that a couple times. Now I gotta get the outer race out of there now. Let's pull these still. So let's try this. That has to be out of there so I can get the. There it goes. You pain in the butt. A lot of times what happens with the bigger bearings and trying to get them out. I don't know why they... Kind of working it out, one side and then the other. Almost there. There it is. Yeah, should have come out. The whole darn thing should have come out, but it didn't. All right. Everything I tried to use earlier, it kept bending. Couldn't get it to let go. So I had to modify that. To get it to work. So, all right, so it is out of there. We are all clear to put this in the 96. Ah, doggone you. I don't think I was going to be able to use this anyway on the going into the 4.6. What is that? Okay, thanks for watching. If you like, give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Definitely share. And we'll catch you on the next Project Stang. And that will be installing. Alright, so that's what had to come out with the bearing. Unfortunately, the bearing didn't come out like it should have. Now we have the big wide hole that the torque converter rests inside.